In our earlier pieces, in our earlier pieces, that's the Black Woman 2-1, Black Woman 2-2. Um, we laid the basic groundwork, the biology, women's biology, when if you get a chance to look at that quick, we are saying that the biology of a woman has an influence on her psychology. The way she thinks is associated with the biology. Now, on YouTube, it's about 4 or 5 guys there who make all kind of innuendos. You know, black women wear tight skirts and they have this hanging out and they switch around and they do this and that, and they are embarrassment and all this stuff. Uh, and they mention some of the stars, some of the black stars, some women singers and dancers and such, and all those things and stuff like that. But what is the case? There is no case because all women shake their bodies, their derrieres, wear skimpy clothes earliest Greeks, from the earliest Greeks all the way through Italians. Uh, Look at the Renaissance, Venus on the half shell, nudity, and they've always done this to attract the male. Now, are our modern dancers and singers, are they doing anything more than the other groups? Of course, the other groups do it. We call it art, you know, and when we do it, or our women do it, we call it scandal. At least some of us call it scandal. Now, personally, I think, well, they could clean it up a little bit in this and that and this. But this is no reason to demise, demonize, degrade, insult, embarrass the young black woman or the black woman or black women. They are only doing what's natural. They do things to attract the opposite sex and to relate to their own kind. You know, I look pretty in the other girl, and the other girl look pretty in the other girl, and this and that, and all those things and stuff like that. They've always done that. The cat fight, they've always catty. They've always done that. But we men should be able to look above that. Let women be women. But these jokers on, or these men right now, these men on YouTube, and it's about 4 or 5 of them. Maybe it's more than that, but I haven't found the others yet. But even if there are more, they have a tendency to say the same thing or in the same vein, They're saying this basically the same thing. They're downing and degrading these women. But women, just like men, can only be what they are. Women can only be women. They cannot be anything else. Men can only be men. They can't be anything else. And they have a range of a posture that starts from the sublime and goes to the totally ridiculous. But it's always been like that. You got the nuns on one side that wear long capes and long gowns all the way to the floor, and they cover up all the way up to their neck, and they cover their arms all the way up to here, and this and that and all that. That's on one end of the spectrum. But on the other end of the spectrum, you have the strippers. And strippers are strippers, but they are women. And the strippers, women of the night, have always been They are not getting more so. They're not getting less so. They've always been, and it's always been the group. We ought to do. We ought to put them down. We ought to, take them to the to the fire, and we ought to burn them at the stake, and we ought to lash them, and we ought to do this and all that. And who's doing this? And who's saying this? The least of us. The least of us. But talking a little trash and talking a little trash is one thing. But these guys have gotten into hatred. And this is the basic difference. Once you move from just talking about somebody or demonizing somebody or demonizing some group, but once you get into hatred, then you get into violence, and before you know it, you got somebody hurt, or you got the whole situation hurt, or you've screwed the thing up till you can't recover. If I slap my wife, can I recover from that? I don't think so. It's always in the back of her head. This joker did this. I could bring her as many flowers as I want to, but the thing is in the back of her head, and it stays there. Once you tell these young black women that they are stupid, they are unworthy, they're a waste of time, and this and that and this and that, even if it's not true. Over a period of time, this garbage gets in the back of their heads and in the back of the heads of young men. Well, I don't want to be with her because she's black, or she's this, or she's fat, or she's this, or everybody says this about her, or she wears skimpy stuff and la di da di da di, or she wears white folks' hair and animal hair and this and that and all this stuff. Women have always worn this and that and this and that and this. They've always done that. They put flowers in their hair, they put weave in their hair, they put grass in their hair. They do all kinds of things. They fry their hair and they cook it, they comb it and do all kinds of things. And they've always done that. And that's all women. From the primitive on through. This is normal. This is natural. Leave the women alone and let the women be women. It's a bit of a fad. It moves along. And we are getting petty, but what we're doing. We're finding a reason to hurt. And once we hurt our women, we hurt our culture. And the culture is in bad shape already. But what goes on? We're making it worse. Okay, I only get for 9 minutes, so I got to go. I'm coming back with another piece.